What is being 60 really like? It's a harder question than you might think. Women over 60 are very unique. We try to explain this to marketers, but they still like to put us in categories like senior or boomer. And I want to talk to you about things that our women in our 60 and Me community have said are wonderful aspects of being 60, what it's really like to be a 60-year-old woman. My name is Margaret Manning, and I'm with 60 and Me. And thanks for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to join us. It's going to be an interesting conversation. These are the words from our 60 and Me community. We reach over 500,000 women now, and we're all around the world. So what is it really like being 60? Well, as I mentioned, marketers like to put us in little buckets, and they've actually come up with a new one, which is that we are dragon women, this is describing us: divorced, rich, age 65, overseas travelers, and networkers. And they forgot the G. So I'll add like gregarious or genuine or generous. There's all kinds of amazing G words that we could choose. But this is the challenge that we have, is that we're put into these buckets. Now, most women in their 60s, after they get over the initial milestone leap, it's fun. It's okay. There's so many benefits that are coming with age 60. We're excited to be alive. I mean, having the opportunity to be here on the planet at 65, 70 years old is amazing. But sometimes it takes a couple of years to get into the swing of it. So if you're a 50-year-old woman, this is what you've got to look forward to. And if you're already in the 60s, well, you're fine-tuning. This is what you're going to be looking forward to. So what do some of the women in our community say? Now, I've got some really good ones here, and I hope that you can stay with us, because there are some really fascinating stories, and hopefully they will inspire you. They will inspire you to reinvent yourself if you're going through this transition. I must admit, I was 59 for a few years. Definitely. I just didn't. I didn't want to be 60. It just didn't suit me. It didn't seem like me. But there's a true person behind all of that. First thing, women love being 60 because they can wear whatever they want. Clothing should be comfortable. It can be fashionable, of course. We like to look good. Most of us. There's some people it doesn't really matter. There's no judgment anymore about clothing. You can wear what you want. You know that inner beauty is really what matters. It's beauty gets redefined as your wrinkles start appearing, and you're changing. Your whole body is changing. Your hormones are shifting, but also we don't move as much. And there's lots of things we could do to, obviously make, some comments here. But the thing is, we actually do know that our beauty as 60-year-old women is inside. It's what we emanate to the world. It's the joy, it's the vitality, the enthusiasm that we show. Another thing is we actually like to reduce our possessions. Now, we have another website, a sister site called Learn to Simplify, because so many women in their 60s love to downsize. And women have said, I can drive my motorcycle whenever the mood takes me. I can basically have, a small amount of things and travel the world. I can do what I want. I can stay in my pajamas all day if I want to. Someone likes to line dancing, table tennis, swimming, whatever your heart desires. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's uncomplicated. That's the secret to getting a little bit older, and what most women in their 60s feel. They can just kind of narrow down the complexity of their lives and just do what they like. Sit in the garden with a book. Just have a glass of wine and listen to music. You're just sort of not in that aggressive, get ahead, ambitious mode that we just play that game when we're in the business world or when we're in any job in our 50s and 40s. But as we get older, it's just kind of, simplifying. So someone says, they've got time to do things like travel, meeting friends for lunch or coffee, just saying, hey, you can have a coffee, doing it on spontaneous. You're not planning a calendar. You're kind of just doing things spontaneously. Some people said, my life with my awesome husband. This is the time maybe to discover that relationship again. Time with children, with your adult children and their children, your grands. And, just sitting on the beach and watching a sunset. These are the simple things from a travel perspective. Taking a cruise, someone with the freedom and the means to dream of a cruise. And one lady said she's given herself power to make choices. Retirement and being 60 has given her permission to reclaim her power and make choices. And make choices for herself. we often make choices for everybody else when we're, parents and wives and partners in business. So, but it's time for you. Another thing that people do is go back to school. Lifelong learning is a big trend amongst people that, in their 60s, living life with vitality and verve. And one woman said, I went back to school and got my PhD in my 60s. And some people audit classes. They don't even, care if they get the degree. They just want to learn. They want to be lifelong learners. Someone said that she chooses to do letting go of things a bit and wearing clothing like quirky hats. Just doing these things that are your passions that you've always wanted to do, or that you just feel like express yourself more than they did in the days when you had to think about, should I wear this funky necklace, or should I, which I really like, by the way, can't see it all, but, it's like, just wear what you want. You become wise. Someone said, you become wise and you can be youthful with wisdom. Just imagine being able to do that. Like, go back and do some of the things you did when you were younger, but through the lens of a wise person. This is great feedback. Someone else said, I don't sweat the small stuff. And that's just such a cliche, but it's true. It's like, a couple of times the last few years, things have happened in my life and with my family where it's just like everything else has become completely unimportant except for this one thing that we all had to focus on. And it's just that kind of ability to, know in your heart, in your mind, be wise about it, know how to differentiate what's needing your attention and what can just go. Don't sweat the small stuff. The small stuff is the stuff that is passing. Everything changes and it will pass. Another thing, so someone says they feel more energized and alive than they ever have, partly because they're reducing the stress in their lives and they're trying, to just do things for themselves. This is what someone said, I like that I am who I am, I know who I am, and I want to get the most out of my life. The other comments are really amazing. I was actually, as I said the word reinvention back there earlier, I wanted to restate that because on one of our cards we say this was, don't reinvent yourself, just become yourself. And that's kind of what that is about. This is our deck of cards, by the way. This is our Aging Beautifully, which is all about this whole idea of aging, but doing it with truth and with beauty. Aging beautifully. There's 46 cards, and they're all like, kind of meditation cards or inspirational, affirmational cards. And that's, what a lot of these women that we asked said. Someone else said, I'm, free of responsibility and commitment. Now, that doesn't mean you're not responsible for your life or that you don't have responsibilities, but, you don't have to have that as a weight on you. You can follow your own path if you want to go back to work or you want to do work part-time. Perhaps you want to start a business. You've got the freedom now. You're free of the responsibility of the buts. I would like to do this, but I don't have enough time, or I've got to, focus on my job or focus on my family. So you've got time and freedom. I don't take things too dramatically. I'm not a drama queen. It's like, whatever. And I found that in my life. It's like, things that people freak out about and they're so like, oh my gosh, this has happened. It's like, that's actually not that big a deal. I mean, of course, everyone's got their own level of, pressure points and, and they have to release it sometimes, but they don't need to worry about it. Don't need approval so much from other people, including your family. We all want to be really responsive and close to our family, but I think we have to do things for ourselves. And that's what several people said. Being bolder than ever before, someone else commented. This is a good one that someone said, knowing that money is not everything. We know money is a lot. We know that it gives us choices, it buys us freedom, it buys us fun, but it isn't everything. And as you get older and you have to perhaps deal with physical issues, medical concerns, mobility issues, you start to realize that money isn't everything. There's a quality in life, and that's what several people mentioned that. Someone said, laughing at my imperfections. This is like, you're good enough. You're not having to worry about being perfect. You're flawed. Everyone's flawed. We have cracks. That's how, I think it was Leonard Cohen said, that's how the light gets in. And it is true. Broken people sometimes are the wisest. People that have had the deepest concerns and issues are sometimes the most, not intelligent, but the wisest. That's a great word. Someone said, never having to dye my hair again. which is back to the kind of clothing thing, like you can just wear. And actually gray's coming back. Gray hair is like young people are actually dyeing their hair gray now. It's kind of a trend. So we're right in there in line. Finally, someone said, having my own dreams. That's what I love about being 60. And another person said, I like living alone. You know, I think when we're younger, we feel like this need to always live with someone or be with people. I think people tend to chill a little bit when they're older and they don't mind being by themselves. You've got to keep social. That's important. Don't lock yourself away. But I think that's one of the things people said in our little survey when they said, we just like being able to choose, like to be able to be by ourselves. So that's our story. What do you love about being 60? I'm assuming that most of the people watching this are 50, 60-year-old women. So if you're 50, what are you thinking about being 60? What's on your mind? 50 plus. And then if you're just like 58, 59 into your 60s, what do you think is the most fun that you're having? What's the best part of being a 60-year-old woman? Look forward to your comments. I really do. And thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. I hope this has been something that's inspired some thoughts. And take a look at the deck of cards. I think you might enjoy this one. Go ahead and discover yourself. And we'll talk again really soon. Bye-bye for now.